got a homeboy told me that I need to start posting my videos. I do a lot of videos that I don't post. Today I want to talk about when I started thinking differently on religion and spiritual. I can go back to my journey of when I left for the first time, going out of this country, going to a country that was deemed one of the worst countries ever because of social media, and just people in general talked about. Went to work in Afghanistan, and I had a lot of people ask, man, you crazy? I have never really truly been scared of too much of nothing. Only thing I'm probably really scared of is a snake. I don't mess with snakes. They bite. Should be the same way when I'm dealing with a lot of people too. You know, people bite too. They bite in different ways, but you know, a snake can bite you and it be poison and kill you. Same way with people too. But I don't want to get off of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I started looking at things different when it came to religion. I can remember when I went to the country. Did I question myself for going? Not one time. Because at that time, I was in a financial burden. I lost the majority of everything that I had at that time. I moved back home with my mom, something I haven't done. I was 34 years old. I left my mom's house when I was 18, 19 years. And I have been gone from that point on, been on my own, and I go back and stay with my mom. And it was like a real turning point in my life. I can remember I was trying to go to church. Considered going to church every Sunday, and I didn't do the tithe, but I always threw about $20 in the offering. I write it down as, you know, $20, and that was my way of giving. And I did that faithfully every week that I went to church. And if I didn't give, if I didn't go to church, I'd give my sister one of them $20 and say, hey, put this in church. That's what I done. So before I was leaving going to Afghanistan, I went to church one Sunday. And I can remember this like it was yesterday. And it's been almost 10 years because this was 2012 when it occurred, like October 2012. I can remember like vaguely, remember the date and everything. And it was in October, and it was like I was leaving out October 31st, and it was like the 20th of October. And I go to church, and I put one offering come by, and I put $20 in, and another one come by, and the lady get on the mic and say, last week was the pastor appreciation day, and only 40% of the congregation gave to the pastor. You say you love the pastor, and y'all only 40% of the people gave to the pastor. And it was basically talking about money. Me, beginning of that year, going through a financial crisis, to go to church, to give tithe, to say that this tithe gonna help me throughout the process of me gaining more money, to hear that she saying that the congregation only 40% of the congregation gave to the pastor, and that's 60% that didn't give. And I wasn't thinking maybe they was in the same predicament I was in. 60% of them might have didn't have it to give, but they gave what they could try to give, or then at that time didn't give to them due to the fact that they were struggling like I was struggling. I wasn't part of that church, but I went to that church. Just, to go to a church, I go to that church. And at that moment, that totally changed my view of church because of what she said and what went on that day. Not only that day, what I went through that year. And I started looking at church and religion so differently then. And only to go to a country that wasn't Christian, that was a Muslim country, to see people look at me, and I'm dumbfounded because I never left the country that I was from, and they always say, well, these bad people. It's like, if you ain't Christian, you ain't right. And everything that someone do that's not Christian, they wrong. But I started, me being who I am, man, I sit and talk to anybody. That's just the way I am. And I can remember one day I worked for postal service over in Afghanistan for a company called WWLR. And even though we was well underpaid, it was a decent pay that I wasn't getting when I was here. And I liked the job. The job was wonderful. And I can remember one day going with the planes, when the helicopter come in and bring the mail in for the base I stayed on. Stayed on a little small base called Camp Stone. And I was walking down to where the helicopters land at. Before they got there, they was demobbing the base. They finna close down the base, and I see about at least 10 Afghans up working on one of the buildings. They was tearing it down. And at an instant, all of them stopped doing what they was doing to look at me. You could hear them in their language. I could hear them just say, and my mind went to thinking, boy, I hope they ain't finna blow me up, because I'm dumbfounded. So I used to I left that base, but still curious about these people looking at me, and I went to another base. And the post office was right by the bazaar where the people sell the stuff. And I got real close to this one guy. And every morning they asked me want to drink chai. They drink chai, and they want me to drink tea with them every morning. And I drank tea with them every morning, and me and the guy got close, and I asked him, and I was like, why do y'all look at me the way y'all look at me? And he told me, he said, brother, you look like these people they stay in the mountain, and they like the mob. I still wasn't getting it. He was like, nobody fucks with them. And he said it in those terms. They like the mob. No one fucks with them. And I went to thinking, why? He said, they look just like you. Look at me. He said, it's just something about those dudes they don't mess with. They was a part of Afghanistan, but they stayed in the mountains to themselves. And it was like the mob, and nobody messed with them. And consider going on down to the line, or what I don't think my journey that I was taking through that process of understanding that, okay, I gave up religion big time. It was to a point to where I didn't want to hear it that day in that church when they was asking for more money and not considering what was going on with any other body situation. It done something to me. And so I started seeking out and reaching different avenues to why do it have to always consider giving money to the churches, and the church is supposed to be there for the people. And I was everywhere. Until I came back from Afghanistan, I moved to Atlanta, and I moved with a brother that I knew from a long time. Well, he moved in with me. I found a place. He had a job in Atlanta. He moved in with me. I had a 3-bedroom apartment that I hardly ever was there. So me and him came real close in acquaintance. And at that time he was studying stuff like the Hebrews. It wasn't the Israelite brothers. It was just Hebrew. They were studying Hebrew, and a lot of the stuff that he was shooting and saying, it was making a little bit more sense to me. Until I started doing my own researches and stuff. And like one day we was talking about, I went to a meeting with him one day, and it was so open. It was so, everything was just like, okay, I'm waking. It's opening up certain different avenues I've been asking questions about. And we got on the Israelites or your Jews, and Deuteronomy was like one of the main scriptures in the Bible that, you know, I haven't really touched the Bible since my incident in that church, and I picked it up and went to start and reading a lot of stuff with the Israelite, and I done research on it with Google, with dictionaries and all kind of books I was reading, and I got to this point to where I went to reading Deuteronomy 28, and I was going through the whole thing, and I was understanding what the 28 meant. It meant to so many rules, and I'm still a person of the Bible is stepped on. I don't give a damn what you can sit here and you can tell me that everything in that Bible ain't right, because it was interpreted into a way of the person that conquered that land to make them feel superior. And if you don't believe that, hey, you the slave to the same incidents what's been going on for years. But certain things that your inner spirit tells you, hey, something right about that passage that was given. And 28:68 stated that since we didn't obey the Most High rules and regulations, that's the 613 laws. People think it's 10 commandments that we go by, but it's 613 laws that we didn't obey, and that's why we was cast out of our land. And that's Jerusalem, Israel, all of that. That is the land of the real true Jews. And we were scattered in all four corners. And I wasn't thinking about it till the time the guy told me, you look like those people that stays in the mountain. And it at that time I went to saying, damn, I've been on a journey around the world to find out that I had to go to another country to understand who I am. So when you get to a person like, and I'm getting off the subject, like Kanye, and he say that he's a God, he know who he is. So when people like him say that they are gods and we tell you that they crazy, maybe we got to start looking at the situation a little different. Stop looking at the glass always full. Look at it half full, and try to make yourself understand why do he consider he's a God. Maybe he's learning these lineage of who he really is.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Maybe he's understanding this religion that we've been under for so long. It's falsified. Maybe the history we've been learning in this country is a lie. But true to understand that, we always holler we are descendants of Africa. We are, but we as a community of the brown people, the land of America, we was here too. They had to make something stick, like saying that they took Africans from Africa to come to America. Yeah, they done that to make it stick, to say that we wasn't here first. We was already here on this land. And they don't want you to believe that the color of the brown people was here. Yeah, it was red people too, But it was brown people also here on this land. And those are all descendants of the Jews that were scattered all the four corners of the earth. And I never forget Deuteronomy 68, that we would be bond men and bond women, and we would never see our God again, because we'll be under someone else's God. And that's the most true that goes on today. Because what are we doing now? We're under someone else's God. We don't know who the true God is. Because this blonde hair, this blue-eyed blonde hair guy that we consider as God is just like now. Social media, you can put this picture up and somebody with autopsy say that's Jesus. How do you know that's Jesus? That was a picture that was planted in our head of an image of a person to enslave you on, saying that this is who's superior. And it's bullshit, man. And that's my inner spirit that I live with every day on religion and all other bull that goes on from here to yonder. Because guess what? We've been lied to, and we continue to be lied to. And as long as we continue to accept the bullshit that's right in our face, showing us who we are. I hate to say it, man. Why do you think we so gifted and we can do some of anything, and they don't want us to know our past? We only know our history to slavery. That's it. We don't know nothing past slavery. They don't want you to know your history past slavery, because you begin to find out who you really are. So my spiritual journey has been like, it's been one of a million, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the 10-year path that I have been on to make me strip my way of saying, Christianity is the fakest, flawest shit ever. Started 325 AD by Pope Constantine. Prove me wrong. At the Council of Nicaea. Prove me wrong. Far back history can tell you that white Jesus is fake as flaw as fuck. I know a lot of people gonna tell me I'm wrong, but can't nobody tell me I'm right and wrong until I leave this world and find out the truth. But my spirit guides me in a direction that I'm happy with. There's nothing no one else can do to make me feel or do any different. I don't care how many books you go gather, try to show me this and try to show me that. My inner spirit is everything. And it guides me where I need to go. I treat everybody the same. The other day I was sitting down, and this is how I know the Most High gave me a gift of power to put smiles on people's faces, is because the other day I was just talking to a couple friends I know, and we went to talking, and I just went to being real with them and talking to them, and she was like, "You always fucking with me." And I was like, and I broke it down to her, I say, I am a person like this. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. But if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If you get or understand what I'm saying to you. And that's what I was letting her know. Yes, I'm gonna joke with you all day long. If I don't joke with you or do nothing to say nothing to you, I don't fuck with you. And that's what I had to let her know, that, you know, man, I love you for who you is, regardless of what the fuck it is. And I ain't gonna never change who I am, and you don't change who you are when me and you are in our situation. I say because that's who I am, but I like being around people. I am a people person. My inner spirit tells me the good and the bad in a person. And I'm going to keep it 100 with your ass. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. Holler gets to that point, but when I tell you, you fucking dead in my book. You dead in my book. So, I have a lot go on. I don't pray. I talk to my inner spirit. That's my way of praying. You know, I see people pray all the time, and I feel like sometimes praying is like senseless. Give whatever you pray about to him one time and leave it as is. We pray and continue to pray, but we continue to stay on our knees. When if you go pray, the Most High ain't give you all your life to be on your knees praying for something you asking for. Make it happen. That's my way of looking at it. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm a damn sure I ain't never been a what if person. I'm Missouri all day long. That's me. So, might get a long video like this. I need to start going live, but I don't be want to go live. I be want to just. I got so many videos, man. I never ever post because it be for something that I keep it to myself. Some things I do sometimes feel like, well, I don't wonder what somebody gonna say about me, or not really just say about me. I be really protecting a lot of people's feelings because I don't give a fuck how you feel about me. But I do protect a lot of people's feelings with a couple posts that I have that I could put up but won't put up because I'm protecting a lot of people's feelings. So, I'm gonna post this. I know I'm gonna probably piss off a lot of people with what some of the things I have said in these 22 minutes. But who cares? Who cares? Somebody help me, please.